We mentioned last night that Loyola had done something in a tournament that's never been done before, holding 4 straight opponents to 54 points and fewer. And obviously that mark continued today, Bradley getting 53 points. So note for you. 5 straight now, yes. Loyola Ramblers are here. Head coach Porter Mosier is flanked by Clayton Custer, Marcus Towns, and Cooper Kafis. We're going to have Porter open up with a statement on the game, and then we'll go to questions for all 4 members of the Loyola team. Porter, please.
Yeah. Hats off to Bradley. I mean, they won a tough game. It was a 1-possession game. A couple of our players said it's a man's game and it was during the game. And hats off to them. I'm disappointed for these guys because I know how bad they want it. I know how bad they've worked. I know the pressures they've been under all year long, and I really wanted it for them, you know. And so you can tip your hats off to Bradley. They made, some tough plays and very physical. And but I'm proud of my guys. I'm proud of who they are as men. I'm proud of how much they've invested in this program in the off season. And we're not done yet. We still have a postseason. But my feeling of right now is about these guys, that they've worked so hard and invested so much that they didn't get the win tonight. So for that.
Questions? Abby, start us off.
Marcus and Clay, this was your last Arch Madness tournament ever. What was the experience like for you guys this time around?
Marcus first, please.
It's a really good tournament. Only played in it 2 years, but I could just see the excitement around it. Every team in here comes in and thinks they can win, so every game is going to be a big game, and I'm just happy I got to play in it.
I mean, it's always fun to be down in St. Louis. I appreciate all our fans coming out because everybody came out and supported us. But obviously we didn't get what we came here to do.
Dave?
Marcus, you had a big game against Bradley just a week ago. How did they defend you differently today?
It wasn't if I was making shots or not. It was just our defense, our rebounding, and our transition was what lost us the game. It wasn't my points that won us the game last game, or if it would have won us the game today. It was our defense last game that won the game, and our defense and our transition wasn't there today. And anybody can step up and have a big game. Coop had a big game today, and we just had to lock in more defensively. And if you were to stop a couple transition threes or defensive rebounding, and you'd be sitting here with a different story.
2 things. Marcus, can you start out just you went to the bench for a while. What was troubling you?
Just caught some cramps in the game. I was fine though.
And for Clayton and Marcus, just you both were pretty emotional after the game. Could you just kind of describe the feelings going through your head at that time?
Clayton first, please.
I mean, you work so hard all year, and the goal is to go to the NCAA tournament. And our last year here, it's me and Marcus's last year at Loyola, and we got a taste of it last year. And I mean, we had a goal and we didn't reach it, and that hurts a lot.
Our goal was, to get back there, and I was sitting on the bench before the game, and before it was calling out the starting lineups, and I was just looking, at the little video board, and I almost wanted to cry because I was so excited, and just get out there and play, and just to realize now that was our last chance to get to the tournament, not for me and Clay, and it hurts, but we fought hard, and that's the way I want to go out. If we fought hard, and even though we didn't come out with a win, I'd rather go out that way than not fighting hard.
Back to the center. Go ahead.
My next two are for Cooper. So you only missed one shot the entire game. What was that like? You mean 16 points, I think it was. Only missed one shot. What was that like for you?
I mean, I come into every game knowing that I'm going to have to make shots in order for us to win. And Clay and Mark are always finding me, just like they drive, and I'm just getting to the open spots, and they're able to find me. And, I mean, they're always on me about shooting more and everything. And, yeah, I mean, just sucks that we couldn't pull this one out.
And then this was your first Arch Madness tournament. What was the experience like for you?
It was awesome seeing all the Loyola fans coming around and traveling all this way just to support us and everything. I mean, it just gets me excited for these next 3 years.
Paul, over here.
This is for Porter, and then if either Marcus or Clayton want to chime in. You've reached the pinnacle of the sport last year, and now you've fallen short. You got to go to the NIT. How do you regroup the guys, or guys, how do you kind of recalibrate and go after Madison Square Garden?
We're going to take tonight to, process it with each other. I mean, we'll go back to the hotel. We'll eat a meal together. I can't tell you how proud I am to be the coach of these guys, the kind of men they are. You can just hear in their responses. So I'm not going to ask them not to hurt tonight. I'm not going to do that. I mean, they've invested too much. They're going to hurt. So I'm going to let them go through that natural process. We'll go back. We'll take some days off. And I know the competitors they are. If they're going to lace them up, they're going to want to win. So that's going to be an easy job for me, to get them recalibrated, to get ready for the NIT. So I'm just going to go through the natural process of letting them, hopefully they can hang with each other, hang with their families. And then a couple days, we'll go back to Chicago. We'll get back into school, give them a couple days, and then we'll get together. And if they're going to lace it up, they're going to put that jersey on and represent the name on that front of the jersey. The one thing I can guarantee you, I swear to God, these guys will go after it, and that's who they are. So, that recalibrating them, the process of getting through this, when we restart it up again, they'll recalibrate themselves.
Clayton, how do you regroup as a student athlete?
I mean, the character of the guys on our team. I mean, obviously, this hurts worse than any loss that I've ever had, maybe other than the Final Four loss last year. So, I mean, we'll go back. We'll stick together. We'll hang out and get through this together. But like Coach said, we got a lot of winners on our team. We got a lot of people who have a lot of pride, and we're not gonna go out there and not play hard or whatever in the NIT. I mean, we're gonna go at it to win it, and that's how we always have been, and that's what we're gonna do in the NIT.
We have 5 minutes left in this session. We have 2 questions up. Go, please.
Porter, not many fouls called. I think in the first half you only had 2 free throws. It did look kind of physical at times under the hoop. But just wondering, how do you feel like that can impact the game, or how it did today?
Yeah. I'm trying to process the best way to answer this is, yeah, it was extremely physical. And yeah, it was extremely physical. Sorry, Shannon. I mean, let me process how I really want to answer that question in a little bit.
Porter, you've got 4 guys from outside of the U.S. on your team. How do you go about recruiting players not from the U.S.?
I don't know. When we recruit, we just identify guys that fit who we are, fit our culture, you know, fit guys that just fit what we're trying to do, and those guys, you know, just kind of fell that way. It wasn't any other thing but just finding guys that fit what we do.
Porter, what was the message to the team in the locker room, and what were the emotions like in that locker room?
It was very tough. It was very tough. Very emotional. You know, when you have as close a group, a program, of guys we have, and I mean, there's nothing these guys haven't done to invest in who we are. I mean, I'm telling you, all summer, all fall, to withstand the pressure that these two have had to go through this year, it's very hard. The more you invest in something, the harder it is to give up. And so it was very emotional in the locker room, very hard. But I told them to put their heads up. I mean, I'm very proud of them. Got in a circle, said a prayer. And we'll move on. We'll get back together at the hotel, but it's very hard, very hard. I mean, I'm not sitting here with regret saying, I wish we would have worked harder. I wish we would have done this, we would have done that. Through all the stuff that these guys have been through, they should have no regrets on how hard they worked, how hard they led. They fought through so much with an injury, with everything we went through this year to win a Valley championship. And but how they prepared, just you'd be proud if you were behind the walls watching. If you were a fly on the wall and you watched how these two led and prepared, you'd shake your head and be like, wow, that's impressive. So anytime you would do that, man, it's hard to give up.
Final question right here.
I know Krutwig came back into the game, but do you know, it looked like maybe he got his foot stepped on or rolled his ankle. And then could you also just talk about just, you know, what was how they kind of limited his effectiveness today, maybe, or his touches?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I've not been outspoken with it. I mean, I think he gets as hard, you know, he gets, you know, beat up a ton. I mean, as simple as that. I believe that. He's battled it. Sometimes you look at him and you say, oh, he's 6'9", 265. He can take that. And so he did tweak his ankle. He's fought through little nagging injuries, so I don't think that affected him. But, you know, it was very physical out there. You got to give credit to them, too. They blocked 13 shots. They came flying in. You know, Childs, they had some athletes that came in and just said we were going to try to block their shots. And 13 block shots is a lot. And, you know, they had I think that's what they had, right?
9.
13, am I right with that? 9 blocks.
13 turnovers, 9 blocks.
9 blocks and 13 offensive rebounds. The offensive rebounds and 9 blocks. Those were those intangible stats that, when in a one-possession game, gave them 13 extra possessions, gave them 9 stops at the rim in a one-possession game. Those are intangible stats that were really lopsided. They did a good job at blocking shots and offensive rebounding.
Thank you, gentlemen. Good luck in the NIT.